Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I almost said good morning, but it is in fact 2 p.m. Thank you all so much for joining us. Welcome to New Haven High School and our New Haven High School auditorium. We are so excited to see you all today for our spring musical production. I am AJ Lorenzini. For those of you who do not know me, I am the director of drama here at New Haven Junior Senior High School. One thing that I had thought of the other day, and if you've been to the show any of the past 2 nights, this is not news to you, but I think it's just a kind of a startling statistic, which is the last musical that we did here on this stage was Beauty and the Beast in 2019. I almost said 2009. In 2019. And that's kind of crazy, right? Because Shrek's opening night, it was March 13th, 2020. Awesome planning on my part. And we had our virtual shows last year, so hopefully you were able to tune in for those. But if this is your first one, welcome. We're so excited to be back here on the stage because, you know, we learned some new skills last year doing those digital shows, but there's nothing quite like when it's right here in front of you. So thank you all for being here. One thing, I want to do a little practice with you all before we do the show, just to get us all in the mood to watch the show. So, show me what you would do if someone sang a song and they were really good. Yeah. Okay, good. We're on the same page with that. I mean, you probably could do a little more, but hey, I get it. It's still in the afternoon. Let's say someone says a joke and it's really funny. What do you do? Oh, yeah. See? Okay, great. So keep those in mind as the show starts. I want to introduce my assistant director, Miss Kara Tharp. She has some things that she would like to say.
I know that for all of you who are family and friends of the people who are going to be on or backstage or up in the booth for us today, that it is such a huge commitment for them to be involved in a program like this. So I want to thank you for giving us your kids, making sure they're at rehearsals, making sure they're getting their homework done before they come to us. And friends, thank you for, being willing to give up some of that hang time with your friends. The kids have worked so hard on this and they're so proud of it, and I know that you guys all will be too, so thank you.
Hopefully you were able to pick up a program out on the table and you can read through and you can read all about the kids and their accomplishments and all that they've done, some of them for the past 4 years, and you can take a look at the names of our tech crew and the people who've really helped make this. So because this is the last show, I want to give them specific thanks. So I want to thank Kara as being, my assistant director. She really takes lead on so many things. She is very good she knows me very well, so when I start to fall short on something, or she knows where she goes, I'm saying, we have a whole list of props and things we need. She goes, okay, no, I have those things at home. I have knitting needles at home, I'll bring them in, as I'm starting to break a sweat thinking about knitting needles. So there's one more thing added to the list. So I thank her for that. It couldn't be possible without Adam Moyer, our music director. It's a musical. Because trust me, you don't want me teaching the music to the kids. That would not be good for anyone involved. He's not here, but I want to thank Ben Roney, our tech director. He knows so many things. He helps build the set. He puts it all together, and the kids help him build that. And he's amazing with that. He knows how things should be built. He knows how to work things up in the booth. He knows how to get the mics set up, and he knows how to program the lights. And again, if that was all just up to me, it would not look this good. So I thank him for that. I thank Mackenzie Brockhouse for coordinating all of the costumes. All the wonderful costumes that you see up here are large in part due to her. And again, it's one of those things where the theater is a giant puzzle, and the puzzle isn't complete without all of the parts. So every part is extremely important. And if I was in charge of making all the costumes, they would not be looking as good as they do. When I come in and she comes in, she goes, so I brought a bunch of stuff from home because I thought we could add all these things on opening night. I'm like, that's brilliant, I love that. So, yes, here we go, time for the show. Please, put your hands together for the cast and the crew of The Apple Tree, under the music direction of Mr. Adam Moyer. Adam?
You are the first man. It shall be your task to name all the creatures in the Garden of Eden. You may eat the fruit of the trees and the fields, but stay away from the apple tree on the other side of the hill. Adam, wake up.
Can you give me just 5 more minutes?
Adam, wake up.
Okay. Name the creatures. Well, might as well get it over with. I, Adam, by the authority vested within me, do hereby name all you creatures flying around in the sky, flyers. And all you things crawling around on the ground, I will name crawlers. And all you things swimming around down there are swimmers. And you're growlers. And you are hoppers. Oh my, there are thousands. I better start taking notes or I'll get everything all mixed up. This is the first day Adam time. Note. Today I named the flyers, crawlers, swimmers, growlers, and hoppers. Further note, there are creatures here of every conceivable kind, but I, Adam, am the sole and single man. Single. That word has a fine, open ring to it. Ow! Ah, now what? I'll name it later.
Sunlight? Hummingbirds? Lions? Where am I? What am I? Oh! Well, whatever I am, I'm certainly a beautiful one. Quite peculiar, but I feel like an experiment. In fact, it would be impossible to feel more like an experiment than I do. Then, am I the whole experiment? I don't think so. I'd better start taking notes. Some instinct tells me these details will be important to the historian someday. Saturday, June 1st. Note. I arrived feeling exactly like an experiment. Around me there's an incredible profusion of the most delightful objects. So many creatures, so many things. Each wondrous object is beautiful and striking. And I see nothing that isn't to my liking. There's plums and peaches, and pears and grapes, so ripe and juicy and utterly inviting. I find the apples especially exciting here in Eden. As for me, I can see I was meant here in Eden. Drop that pickerel, you monster! Put it back, did you hear me?
What do you think you're doing?
You can talk.
Get away from here.
Throw that pickerel back.
What pickerel?
That pickerel in your hand.
That's a swimmer.
A pickerel.
Swimmer.
Pickerel.
Swimmer.
What's this?
A clod?
Well, if you don't throw that pickerel back, I'm going to clod you right out of that tree.
Wait. Oh.
Don't you do that ever again, you bully. I'm warning you.
Second day Adam time. Note, I'm worried. Yesterday, that new long-haired creature kept hanging around and following me. But I believe I can hide myself so cleverly. Ah, there we go. It probably thinks I've left the garden.
I must talk to you.
About what?
Oh, I just like to talk. Don't you like to talk?
Not particularly. Go away. Go away.
Please come down. There is something, and I think it's immensely important.
All right. I think I'm stronger than you.
Well, I'm sure you are.
Okay. Now, what is this about?
About us.
Stay over there. What is us?
It's a word I thought of. It means you and me.
Stay over there. What's so important about us?
I believe we've both been put here for a great and noble experiment.
I must insist. Stay over there.
Sorry.
Go on.
What?
I said, go on.
I believe I'm the main part of this experiment, but you have a share in it too.
That's very generous of you. What makes you think you and I have anything in common?
Well, for one thing, you're the only other animal here that can talk.
Oh, well, that's how much you know. So can that flyer up there,
Where?
in that tree.
Oh, you mean that parrot? I didn't know parrots could talk.
Well, they can. And why do you call it a parrot?
Because it looks like a parrot.
Not to me it doesn't. To me it looks like a loudmouth fat beak.
Nevertheless, it's a parrot.
What makes you so positive?
I just happen to have this talent. The minute I set eyes on an animal, I know what it is. I don't have to think. The right name comes out by inspiration. So far, you're the only exception.
How old are you?
2 days.
You'll never make it to 4.
Oh dear, I've hurt your feelings.
That's ridiculous.
No, I can tell. I'm so sorry.
Well, don't be, because you're wrong. Now, I can't waste any more time here. I have to go empty the 4-pronged white squirter.
The what?
Okay. The 4-pronged white squirter?
Oh, you mean the cow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Somehow we got off on the wrong foot. It seemed to aggravate it. I wonder what it's for. I think it's a reptile, but I never see it do anything. Nothing seems to interest it except resting. It's a man. If it is a man, then it isn't an it, is it? No, that wouldn't be grammatical. It's nominative he, dative him, possessive hisn. I think that's right. right? It's been getting harder and harder to concentrate ever since I met the reptile. It's been giving me the strangest sensations all over my body. Feelings are tumbling over feelings I do not understand. And I am more than slightly worried that they are getting out of hand. Sometimes they happen in my stomach, sometimes they happen on my skin. What is the name of this condition that I am in? If I'm objective and observant, if I can keep an even keel, I'll be the first to pin a name to what I'm the very first to feel. Tuesday, June 1st. I think I finally discovered something that will interest it. It happened while I was trying to bore a hole in one stick with another stick. Thank you, Duck.
What is that?
What does it look like to you?
Pink dust.
Its name's Fire.
How did it come?
I made it.
And what are those?
Fire poles?
Okay. Ow! Die!
Nothing interests it. I am the first to face this problem. I am the first to have to scream. How can I harness his attention? How can I harvest his esteem? Am I sufficiently attractive? Should I do something with my hair? Is there some tidbit that will please him? What should I wear? What is the source of this congestion that I must learn to rise above? Is there a name for this condition? Yes, there's a name, and it is hell.
6-day Atom time. The naming goes recklessly on. The new creature gives everything that comes along a name before I can even get in a protest. I don't get a chance to name anything myself. For example, take the Great Falls, finest thing in the garden, I think. The new creature calls it Niagara Falls. Why? It says it looks like Niagara Falls. Now that's not a reason, that's pure waywardness and imbecility. And another thing, I'm not used to anything coming up so close to me. It makes me feel hampered and somewhat anxious. Cloudy wind in the east. I think we will have rain. Where did I come up with that word? Anyway, I don't care about we. I'm going to get me a dry top built.
Good morning. What are you doing?
Making sure my dry top is built properly.
Oh, you mean your hut? Can't I help? Are you hungry?
Whoa, hey, wait, whoa, give me that. Where did you get that?
From that tree.
Are you sure it's not from over the hill?
Positive. I don't understand.
Those apples are forbidden.
Why?
Because they're dangerous. If we eat them, something terrible will happen.
What?
I don't know!
Well, maybe we should just go find out.
Stay away from that tree, you numbskull.
My name happens to be Eve.
I have no objections.
Kindly use it when you wish to speak to me or when you wish to call me. That's what it's for.
Then it's superfluous.
Superfluous. What a beautiful word, and it's huge. I'm proud of you, really, I am. Superfluous. Where'd it come from?
I don't know. I was standing here looking at you, and I said to myself, it looks superfluous.
I'm not it, I'm a she.
Okay, then I wish she would go play with the other animals, and I wish she would stop talking so much because me have work to do.
Can't I help?
No, she'd only be superfluous.
I think I found a job.
It is starting to rain.
May I come in?
It'll be crowded.
I don't mind.
I mind.
Why do you hate me so much? I just can't understand it. I'm a very interesting person, and if you'd only talk to me, I could be twice as interesting.
Well, now what are you doing?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. You're raining too.
I'm crying. But don't let it disturb you.
Well, it doesn't, but
Yes?
I mean, I don't like to see it, so either stop it or go rain somewhere else. All right, you can come in.
I don't want to.
Why not?
It'll be too crowded.
I'll make room.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
What's your name?
Well, what do I look like? Wait, my name is Adam.
Adam. Adam? Why, that sound is pleasanter in my ears than any I've heard so far. Adam,
What?
what made you pick brown?
Because wood is brown?
But berries are red. We can squeeze some against the wall, not everywhere, just here and there, leave brown trim for you. Have you ever found any grass in the doorway?
Sunday, June 9th. She keeps filling up the hut with rubbish like flowers and plants. And not only is it overcrowded, it's loaded with ants. She is definitely quite intrusive, a nuisance, and yet she's an interesting creature. This Eve, she's developing a strange new habit, which doesn't make sense. She's forever reaching out to touch me, which makes me feel tense. She is definitely quite eccentric, a numbskull, and yet she's an interesting creature. This Eve. Colors drive her absolutely crazy. The gold of the sun, the purple of the hills, crimson-colored clouds in the skies. When I say this is sentimental hogwash, foolishness, she simply sighs. When I'd rather be alone and resting, then she comes around and invariably starts describing some wonder she's found. She invariably gets my back up, yet invariably I perceive she's an interesting creature. This Eve. Once I saw her standing on a hilltop, her head tilted back, the sunlight on her face, gazing at the flight of a bird. And suddenly I saw that she was beautiful, beautiful. Yes, that's the word. There are animals around this garden more soothing than she, but there's nothing in the whole of Eden more pleasant to see. If she'd only learn to keep her mouth shut 1 minute at a time, why I believe I could possibly enjoy just watching this curiously interesting creature called Eve.
Adam,
Ah,
I had a wonderful idea.
is that it?
No, what I thought. Do you like it?
Do I like it? Ugh. I think it's unbecoming of you, and I would like you to take it off this instant.
Thought it would please you.
How could it please me to see you walking around with rubbish on your head?
Rubbish? Flowers? Rubbish? These beautiful creatures that catch the smile of God out of the sky and preserve it? Rubbish? Does everything have to be useful? We've been given a world full of mysteries and secrets. Why, to know everything and learn everything? That could take us weeks! How can you be so narrow?
Narrow? Look, I think you'll find it exciting to learn that just the other day, I invented something brand new.
Oh, Adam. What?
Humor.
Humor.
Does that word puzzle you? I thought it might. Allow me to explain. Just the other day, I was sitting next to the path that leads to the cornfield, and I happened to notice this yellow clucker.
Chicken?
All right?
It looks like.
All right, have it your way. I happened to notice this chicken, and it was walking back and forth, hesitating, when suddenly it zipped across the path. And I thought to myself, why did that chicken just cross that path? And then I thought to myself, well, to get to the other side, of course. That's the world's first joke, and I made it up. Can't you see the humor of it? You know, I guess you just had to be there. And I'm going there.
Adam, don't you want to hear my wonderful idea?
No.
Adam.
Okay, what is it?
So you know how we're different from any other animals in the garden?
Yes?
Well, I was thinking the grass around our hut should be different than any other grass.
Different how?
Shorter.
Shorter? Well, how could it be shorter unless it was cut? You want me to cut it. Monday, June 10th. This relentless pursuit of improvements is leaving me feeling more hampered than ever. The more time that myself and Eve spend together, the closer we get, and the closer we get, just the more hampered I feel. There is one bright spot though. She's taken up with a snake now. I'm glad because the snake talks, and that allows me a little time of rest. She's also taken to spending some time at the pond. That one, I'm not sure why.
Look at me. How much more alike could two girls be? Here we stand, sisters and friends. When I speak, you speak too, and when I am silent, so are you. That's the test of two best friends. When my life is hard to bear, then I run to see you there. And my heart bleeds, your face beams, nothing is as awful as it seems. I love you, two
So actually, yesterday, Eve actually fell into the pond. She said it was so cold and uncomfortable in there that she felt sorry for the fish. So she gathered up a basket full of them and she brought them to our hut and she put them in my bed to keep them warm.
Hi, Adam.
Eve, tonight those fish have to go back to the pond.
But it's so uncomfortable there.
Eve, I've been watching them off and on all morning, and they don't seem to be any happier where they are now. They just seem quieter.
But Adam.
Tonight those fish go back to the pond. Do you understand me, Eve?
Yes, Adam.
What are you doing?
I think I'm going to go somewhere where I can be myself.
Where?
Well, over the falls, of course.
Not in that leaky tub. Oh, Adam, I wish you wouldn't.
This has nothing to do with you, Eve.
It makes me shudder. It's not safe.
Well, I like the plunge. It's cool.
You can't imagine how it frightens me.
How it frightens you? I'm frightened by this everlasting complaining from you. First, you complained about my going over the falls in a barrel, so I made a tub, and did that please you? No, sir. Now you complain about the tub, and if it isn't the tub, it'll be something else. Eve, I won't have it. I don't want to be complained at, I don't want to be clucked over, I don't want to be clung to. I'm going over the falls, and after that, I don't know where I'm going, so don't wait for me.
Adam, will you bring back some of the hollyhocks that grow by the falls?
I hate flowers!
And on days when he withdraws, I'm less lonely now because if I should need sympathy, you would never turn your back on me. I have you who makes two friends. Wait! Don't go away!
Eve, there's no one there.
What? Oh, hello, Snake.
I said there's no one there.
Yes, there is, and she'll be back.
No, Eve, that's called a reflection. You see, when waves of one kind, traveling in one medium, arrive at another, in which their velocity is different, part of their energy is transferred back into the first medium. In this case, the waves are light rays, which appear to come from a literally inverted replica of the luminous source. It's this image that is then focused on the retina.
I don't believe you.
Well, it's so. Look. See? That's not my brother, that's me.
Then I have nobody. No friend, nothing.
What about Adam?
He doesn't even like me. Says I'm a numbskull, which I am. I wish I was educated, like you.
Would you really like that?
Yes.
Well, nothing could be simpler.
How? How?
You know that apple tree on the other side of the hill?
Forbidden fruit?
Who says?
Adam.
My dear girl, the forbidden fruit in this garden is hardly apples, it's chestnuts.
Chestnuts?
Not literal chestnuts. When I say chestnuts, it's like a figurative term, meaning old and stale jokes.
The thing Adam calls humor.
Yeah, there's your forbidden fruit.
I didn't know that. See how ignorant I am?
Listen closely, let me fill you in about the rich, ripe, round, red, rosy apples they call forbidden fruit. What I'm about to say is confidential, so promise you'll be mute. Because if every creature in the garden knows, they'll come round like hungry buffaloes, and in no time there'll be none of those precious apples left for you and me. Now in the average apple, you're accustomed to skin, seeds, flesh, and core. Well, you will find that these are special apples that give you something more. Why, every seed contains some information you need to speed your education. The seeds indeed of all creation are here. Why be foolish, my dear? Come with me to that tree.
Adam wouldn't approve. Even if they're not forbidden, I still have qualms.
With every sweet and juicy, luscious bite of this not forbidden fruit, you'll see your mind expand and your perceptions grow more and more acute. And you can teach him plumbing and philosophy, new techniques for glazing pottery, woodcraft, first aid, home economy, madam. Adam will be overjoyed when he becomes aware of your attainments. He'll beam with loving pride, and he will say, "Oh Eve, you're indispensable. Please don't leave my side." And with your nifty newfound education, he'll relish every conversation. Why, you'll be Adam's inspiration this way. Just an apple a day. Wait and see. Come with me to that tree. Now!
Eve! Eve! You know, isn't that just like her? Whenever I don't want to see her, she's right underfoot. And when I do want to see her, off she goes. You know, it's such a shame. I bet she would have loved what I just discovered. I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I think I'm starting to see the world not through my own eyes, but through hers. I see animals and birds and flowers, every color, every shape and size, moss and pebbles and a host of wonders gleaming everywhere I aim my eyes. So if ever I'm attacked by boredom, I'll just open up my eyes and see this diversified, curious, fascinating chatting and I hear chirping, whistling, murmuring, and honks and snorts. If I only take the time to listen, I hear music of 1,000 sorts. So if ever I would rest my eyes, my ears could easily describe to me this diversified, curious, fascinating, bountiful, beautiful, beautiful world. World, thank you very much for all I see, hear, taste, and touch, plus every whiff I sniff. Still, it's possible the day may come when momentarily the world wears thin. If I weary of the world outside me, I can always take a good look in. For along with every cloud and cobweb, I'm emphatically a member of this diversified, curious, fascinating, bountiful, beautiful, beautiful world I love. Hey, wait a second, you there, Growler, Lion. What the heck are you doing to that lamb? Stop it, you'll hurt him. Hey, I said stop it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Adam.
You did it, didn't you? Oh, I told you not to eat those apples, and you did it, didn't you? How could you? How could you do such a damnable thing?
I didn't do it. I mean, they're not forbidden.
They're not? Then what is?
Chestnuts.
Chestnuts? Now where'd you pick that up?
The snake told me, and he knows everything. In fact, this is probably your fault.
My fault? I didn't eat any chestnuts.
Not that kind of chestnut. This kind is a joke. Have you been telling any jokes lately? Tell the truth.
Well, I did think of one, but I didn't say it out loud. You know, I was standing here just before it all happened, and I was thinking about Niagara Falls, and I thought, how wonderful to see that vast body of water tumble down there. And then I thought, well, wouldn't it be even more wonderful to watch it tumble up?
That's it. That's what did it.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
We have to leave the garden now, don't we?
You're right. We broke the rule. Or, I broke the rule. I'm sorry, Eve.
Okay, you didn't know.
Eve, you know I can't stand to see you wearing this rubbish. Come on, take it off.
Stop! Please don't.
You're acting like a fool. If you want to make a silly spectacle of yourself, go right ahead. I know what I'm doing. I haven't eaten anything all day.
Would you like an apple?
Oh, it's one of those.
They're not forbidden.
I know, but somehow it still goes against my principles. Yes, it is a fine specimen, isn't it? Considering the lateness of the season and all. I guess principles hold no ground when you're not well fed. Hey, don't you have any modesty? Turn your back.
What? Adam,
What?
it looks like rain.
I know. Come on. We'll have to just build shelter somewhere else. Calls this place Tonawanda. It looks like Tonawanda. been a great deal of a companion to me. I know I'd be lonesome and depressed without her now that I've lost my property.
How are the baked apples?
Very tasty.
I'd like to try new things.
You know, I remember when you invented fire. I never thought it would be practical.
That reminds me. How are the multiplication tables coming?
Ooh, that not so sure about. I get to somewhere around 9 times 5 is 27, and then it all goes from there.
You'll get it, dear.
You know, it is getting kind of late.
I am kind of tired.
Is it just my imagination, Eve, or have you been putting on weight? What? I just got back from a hunting trip up north and found that Eve had caught some new kind of animal. Now I could swear that it's a fish, though it resembles us in every way but size. She gives it milk, and every night she picks it up and pats and pets it when it cries. I always knew she pitied fish, but it's ridiculous to make them household pets. She says it's not a fish. I say it is a fish, 'cause it surrounds itself with water almost every chance it gets. Why won't you let me put it in the pond?
I told you it's not a fish.
How will we ever find out what it is if we don't experiment?
I don't care what it is. You stay away from it.
You're standing in the way of science. It's not a fish. Fish never scream. And this one does, though on occasion it says goo. Its legs are long. Its arms are short. So I suspect that it's a kind of kangaroo. And since it came, I pity Eve. She's gotten madder by the minute, and it shows. Last night I said to her that I would much prefer to have it stuffed for my collection, and she punched me in the nose. Growing teeth, and it can bite. So I'm convinced that what we have here is a bear. I'm worried sick, but Eve is not. She burned the muzzle that I made for it to wear. And since it came, I've searched the woods, I baited traps, and yet I couldn't find its sister or its brother. And though I've hunted far and wide, while Eve has hardly stepped outside, I'll be damned if she didn't catch another.
that small, immature shape that puzzled us. Keep out of my garden! You'll ruin the flowers! The old garden. It was so beautiful. Surpassingly beautiful, and yet feels like a dream. Feeding 3 hungry males is not a dream.
You know, they're almost as big as I am now. Abel is a good boy, but if Cain had stayed a bear, I think it would have improved him. I've come to rely on Eve more than I ever thought possible. I used to think she talked too much, but now I know that I'd be lost if that voice fell out of my life.
A while back, Cain and Abel were fighting, and Cain struck Abel and ran away. Now Cain is gone, and Abel's... There's too much stillness in this house.
Hey, are you alright?
Yes. Adam, I've been thinking. When we die, my hope is that we die together.
Now, that's a subject
Wait.
that
If one of us is to die first, my prayer is that I'm the one.
Well, hey,
You're strong, and I'm weak. You've always been more necessary to me than I am to you.
That's not true.
It is true. It's always been true.
Hey, listen. I've got a good one for you. Why do I always wear brown suspenders?
This one's my favorite.
Well... Oh, I forgot.
Life without Adam wouldn't be life. I don't think I could endure it. And yet, when I think of why I love him, I can't seem to think of anything. It's not on his compassionate and gracious ways. He's a little bit flawed in those aspects. I love certain animals for their dignity and certain birds for their songs, but none of that applies to Adam. What makes me love him is not his singing. I've heard his singing. It sours the milk, and yet it's gotten to the point where I prefer that kind of milk. What makes me love him? It's not his learning. He's learned so slowly his whole life long. Yet though he really knows a multitude of things, they're mostly wrong. He is a good man, though far from perfect, and on occasion he used me ill. And though he's handsome, I know inside me, were he a plain man, I'd love him still. What makes me love him is quite beyond me. There must be something I can't define unless it's merely that he's masculine, or that he's mine.
died today. I knew she would, of course. Well, you know, at least her prayer was answered. She went first. You know, it's made me realize something that I guess I just didn't realize before. I used to think that it was such a terrible tragedy that we had to leave the garden, but now I know that it didn't really matter because wheresoever Eve was, there was Eden. And now I have to go water her flowers. She loved them, you know.
You're funny. You're funny, lady.